turning over to a different part of the world, Binance CEO Changpeng, Zhao, also known as CZ, is shedding new insights on the crypto exchange's presence in the Middle East and North Africa, commonly referred to as MENA. And joining us now to discuss this is MENA General Manager Alex Chehade. Welcome, Alex. Okay, so Alex, there's been so much talk recently about, MENA and crypto and Dubai specifically. And let's just start with that. I mean, I think, can you just tell us a little bit about what makes Dubai specifically, and if there are other areas that we should be focusing on, please correct me, but what that makes it so special in sort of the crypto world? Because I feel like we're just hearing about it over and over again. We just had a guest on the show talking about Dubai is like the best place to do crypto. And I was just curious to hear your perspective on what makes it different and why so many crypto businesses are flocking there.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. The UAE, Dubai, is at the forefront of crypto adoption globally. And the main reasons are the government are behind this. So it comes from top down. The government have mandated they want to grow this particular sector. The Gulf countries are looking to deviate away from petrochemicals. And so with the strategy from leadership, they've put down progressive regulation in a couple of different financial jurisdictions. And that's allowed industry players such as Binance to plan for the future and put a footprint down and build businesses knowing that they have the surety and the safety of the government to build regulated businesses that are consumer focused and build on volumes.
So I know that your area specifically is the Middle East region, but we do have to mention that obviously there's been a lot of news about global regulation and about Binance specifically a complaint from the CFTC. And the reason why this is relevant is because there's just been a lot of talk about crypto businesses leaving the US or being targeted by US regulators. Binance specifically, this is a very well-known fact, is having some issues with the US regulators. What does that mean for your region? I mean, do you think that this will attract even more crypto capital, even more crypto companies, and are you seeing that happen already?
Yes, definitely. Companies from around the world, Asia, US, Europe, are all moving or looking at moving to the Middle East because of this progressive regulatory framework. In other jurisdictions, it's not quite as transparent. There's maybe more ambiguity. And then specifically with Dubai, they've established a virtual asset specific framework, which is very clear. It's been built from the ground up to be equivalent to financial markets, but just focusing on virtual assets. And when it's the focus, the regulator will excel. If it's a smaller focus of what they do, if they're managing traditional funds, if they're managing traditional financial services company, it will only be a small portion of their attention, whereas a specific regulator can fully function on this asset class. And as the asset class is rapidly evolving, it gives them the focus.
So does that mean that Binance is going to move to Dubai? Is it going to have a permanent home as a headquarters in Dubai? Do you see that happening?
So Binance does have a permanent home in Dubai, but we also have homes in Bahrain and Abu Dhabi. In Dubai, we have about 650 staff, so it's a substantive portion. But I think there's different regulators for different jurisdictions, and different regulators will serve the different locations. But for the Middle East, we're concentrating on Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain.
But for globally, I mean, like, will it be the global headquarters for? Is it going to be the permanent global headquarters for Binance?
I can't say. We're building regulated outposts all across the world, and I think time will tell.
It's a beautiful city.
It's a fantastic place to live.
I know. Why wouldn't you want it? Why wouldn't you want to be there?
Yeah. So if I could jump in right now, I'm coming in live from India, and a lot of Indian companies have gone to Dubai. And just a few weeks back, I spoke to somebody who said, "Dude, Dubai is where the action is," and I'm like, "Okay." So I want to ask you about the Bloomberg's report that came out recently. It talked about officials in Dubai recently asking Binance to provide more information on its ownership structure. Binance has provided the ownership on their local entities in the region, but VARA officials are also seeking information on ownership, auditing, and board procedures at the global group level of Binance. And given this added scrutiny, given what's happened in the US recently regarding Binance, does Binance have a backup plan for both its business and CZ in the region? Because this is basically CZ's home right now. And if things go sideways, what's the plan?
So VARA and Binance and me personally, we have a great relationship. And so whenever there's a request for information about the group, we're forthcoming. The regulations here in Dubai are very extensive, and there's a big corporate rule book where the corporate governance, board structure, the rules on how a regulated entity can function are very specific, and we adhere to all of those. Going forward, we will always be in dialogue as the change, any requests come forward. We will answer these, but we're moving forward together.
All right, that's interesting. I just want to go back to the question a little bit, and I know this is not easy for you to answer because you're obviously just in charge of the MENA region for Binance. But given that CZ stays there, lives there, and there is a certain added scrutiny to where CZ is, what is he doing, and what might happen next, like, has there been anything that you feel the VARA officials have indicated would be making it more comfortable for CZ to just be in Dubai, make that his home, without the worry of some kind of scrutiny?
CZ has come on the record and said that this is his home. I don't think there's anything more than that. I mean, he's met the regulators and I've met the regulators. It's a two-way conversation about where we're going, how we're building for the future. And we feel that the UAE is at the forefront of the crypto adoption. So that's why we're concentrating a lot of time and effort here.
So Alex, briefly, we just have time for one more question. I was talking to you about the person who told me about how Indian companies had moved, or Indian originated companies had moved to Dubai. But they also said another thing, which is that while there's a lot of action in Dubai, we don't really know how much of it is actually, good utility based, and whether it's a little bit of like not good companies, the companies that will sink, are taking, just making sure that they ride this wave, but not really good at the core. Have you seen that in Dubai?
So what we've seen is a flux to Dubai to take advantage, as I say, this clear regulatory framework. And what we're trying to do is, Binance is trying to be a Web3 enabler. As we have a full ecosystem, we then see all other types of firms coming, and some are new, some are old, some are moving from other jurisdictions. But it's definitely a destination because of the surety of the regulations here. And as I say, in places like India, where they're not quite as sure, they need to move in order to build a good business.
All right, Alex, thanks so much for that. It's a very short flight. Hopefully I can come see you there. That was Alex Chehade, Binance's MENA General Manager. And we should right now let you know that Consensus is almost 2 weeks away. Don't miss the speakers that are going to be there. And one of them is going to be Binance's Head of Financial Crime Compliance, Tigran Gambaryan, in Austin, Texas. Register for tickets on consensus.coindesk.com. Tigran is somebody we've had on the show. He is a brilliant speaker.